Yes, very good afternoon. In continue with our last class, uh, we shall move on to the next interesting topic. That is one of the another types of non-conventional source of energies. So in the last class, we discussed about what is meant by solar energy and how it is working and what are its merits and demerits and applications. Similar way, we will discuss another type of non-conventional energy is a thermal energy. Okay, so it is also a type of a non-conventional source of energy, and this thermal energy refers to the internal energy present in the system. It is the internal energy which is present in the system, and it is a state of thermodynamic equilibrium by virtue of its temperature. And the average transitional kinetic energy possessed by a free particles is a system of a free particle, the thermodynamic equilibrium. This energy is comes from a temperature of matter. Means the thermal energy, it is nothing but a heat. It is comes from the matter. You can observe in the picture. Okay, you can see in this picture. So this thermal energy means it is an heat, or heat energy is nothing but an thermal energy, which is an a internal energy of the system or matter. Okay, and this energy, uh, it's an of course it's a total energy of a molecules in the object. Whatever the molecules present in the object, the total energy present in that molecule is called as a internal energy, which is nothing but a thermal energy, and it is also called as a heat energy. And this energy of an object depends on three things. One is, or first thing is, the number of molecules in the object. Means the how much or how densely the molecules are present. That's the most important. That is the number of molecules present in the object and the temperature of the object. Second thing is the temperature of the object and arrangement of object molecules, that is state of matter. You can observe in this first picture. It is a electric coil, okay, and on that there is an one bowl, okay. So on that there is a water, and because of this a coil, here in the coil, it converts electric energy into heat energy. That heat energy start dissipating through in possible direction, okay, in the possible direction with a three mode of energies, with a three mode of energies. The first mode of energy is conduction, second mode is convection, third mode is radiation. Okay, the faster molecules moves in the atom, more in heat produced. Is it clear? So here there are three modes. One is conduction, convection, and radiation. Clear? So this conduction means the heat transferred by one molecule to another molecule. Means the solid, in the solid state, the heat is transferred from one molecule to another molecule. Heat is moving from one molecule to another molecule. That is called conduction. Okay, here without movement of matter, the matter or object won't move. It won't move, but the molecules will transmit, or it will transfer the heat from one molecule to another molecule. So this type of heat transfer, it is called as conduction. Okay, and the second type of mode is a convection. So convection means it is commonly happens in the fluids. Okay, in the fluids means liquid, a transfer of heat by convection means in the liquid. Okay, the heat is transferred from again one molecule to another molecule, so that is called as a convection. Here, here what happens, the main difference between the convection and conduction is that in the conduction there is no matter transfer, but in the convection there is a matter transfer. Some amount of matter is transferred. Okay, and the last set of thermal energy mode is a radiation. This is a transfer of energy by electromagnetic waves. That is what the from the solar Okay, there is a radiation. So through that radiation, heat is transferred from sun to earth. That is what electromagnetic waves, which converts that energy from sun to earth in the form of radiations. That is a third mode of energy. So for this, you can take a best example is a cooking. So in the cooking, okay, you can take the bowl with an on handle, okay, and there is an either it is in the electric conductor or on the stove. Once the switch on the stove or this electric heater, what happens? The heat will start dissipating through in all possible directions, and it is also through into the bowl. And on the bowl, it may be a water or anything present in the bowl. Okay, it will start slowly. The heat is transferring from higher temperature to the lower temperature. So slowly, what happens? The bowl will get heated, and on the same way, there is a matter which is present in the bowl. It is also start gaining the temperature. It will start gaining the temperature, and you can observe that the handle which connects this bowl, it is also slowly having a temperature, means raising the temperature. Okay, so this shows that there is a conduction, means whatever the heat present in the handle on the bowl, it is a conduction, and whatever the heat present in the fluid, it is called convection, and some amount of heat energy dissipating through in the form of radiation, means whatever the air present surrounding by this coil is also having some higher temperature, means it will give heat by in the form of radiation. Okay, this is what the three modes of energies present in the thermal energy. Thermal energy means it is an internal energy stored in the matter or object. Okay, and you can see this global thermal energy sources. Uh, Total 100%. A renewable energy is a 10%. A natural gas is a 40%. A coal is 20%, and oil is 20%. This is how these will supplies the a global thermal energy sources. From these source, the global thermal energy will operate. And here it's another example how the heat is or how the temperature will move from higher or higher level to the lower level, or hot body to the cold body. Okay, so here lower object and here a higher object, always it is moving from higher into lower end. Yes, you can observe one yes advantages. First advantage is first thing is we know that all the conventional non-conventional energy sources having a same advantage. The first advantage is it is a eco-friendly, so it won't produce any pollution, means it is having a very less amount of pollution when compared to the conventional energy sources. Second thing is, of course, it is a renewable, means we can regenerate, and it is inexhaustible. And third is less eco-friendly as well as less pollution. By using this product, we can generate the electricity. That is another advantage, and it helps for the oil refineries in the industries and home heating. Of course, this thermal energy is commonly used in the uh, home heating purpose, and also some of the industries, uh, oil refineries, textile industries, we can use this type of energy for their work. And the disadvantage of this energy is uh, it producing a greenhouse gases. Second thing is collecting of energy is a big problem, and it requires sophisticated technologies and cost is more. Of course, all these non-conventional energy sources having a same drawback. They need a sophisticated technologies for the for their collection, and they may become costlier when compared to the conventional energy sources. And a typical application of this energy is the first is a steam engine, gasoline engine, and in the steam engine you can see that there is an external combustion engine. There is an external combustion engine and internal combustion engine. So external combustion means it's a steam engine. In the earlier, the train is driven by with the help of this steam engines. Here the coal is burned and that combustion of that coal will produce an enormous amount of energy, and that energy is used to produce the steam inside the train, so that that steam will that water will gain or gain the energy, and it will transfer the phase from liquid to gaseous, and it is become an higher pressure uh, steam, and that high pressure steam is used to drive the train. This is what the typical application of this thermal energy. So thermal energy means you just taken on simple example. uh, First, uh, ice, second thing is water, and third thing is steam. So this is a three phase of water. When the water in the solid, it is called ice. When the water is in the liquid, it is just like a water, and when the water is gaseous means it's become a steam. So how this phase will changes means by gaining the heat. By gaining heat means when it is in the solid state, okay, the it is having a higher density. The molecules are compacted, uh, heavily, and it is become a high density. Okay, once the heat will start into the molecules, so that it will become an slowly the molecules start moving away, and it is become liquid. Means if you heat the ice, by gaining that, it will converted to water. Again, in the water, when compared to the ice, the density is very less. And again, if you add heat to the water, and again the molecules will start moving away, and it is become gaseous. That is what? A steam. Okay. So here the water will absorb the heat, and it will change the phase from solid to liquid, liquid to gaseous. So here the same thing, it will convert the heat from one phase to another phase. It is an another application. And in the IC engine, you also know that there is a combustion of fuel. That is what chemical energy. By the combustion, it will produces the enormous amount of heat, and that heat will create the pressure, and that pressure will start moving the piston from one end to another end. By this movement of piston, it will convert a linear motion with the help of connecting rod to a rotary motion of crankshaft, so that it will drive the car, bike, or whatever it may be for the automobile purpose. So it is an another application of thermal uh, energy. So is it clear what is meant by thermal energy? So this is what the thermal energy. Okay, thermal energy means it's a heat energy, is also called as a thermal energy. See here how the water is boiling on the stove because of the combustion, or maybe because of the induction. That pot, first there is a conduction, means the heat is transferred first to the pot, then to the liquid. I told conduction, convection, and radiation. So first there is a conduction, the heat from to the pot, it is conduction. Stove to the pot, that is what? The combustion to the pot, heat. But there is no matter changes. Here there is no matter changes, it is remains as it is. Second, convection, there is a pot to the liquid. There is a change of phase. Yes, you can take another example. Yes, for the cooking purpose, here the egg is direct contact with the pan. The main important application of this thermal energy is for cooking purpose, okay, for the domestic. So radiation, I told, from the sun. From the radiation, animals, plants will get the energy with the help of solar rays. And phone, it also produces a radiations. You can observe if you continuously use the phone, slowly it will get heated. That is what? Because of the radiations. Okay. Next, move on to the important topic. It is called a photovoltaic cell. It's another applications of solar energy. Yes, photovoltaic cell. It's also called as a solar cell. The electric, we know that this device, this it's a one device. It's a small device. Okay, so this small device that converts solar energy into electric energy using photovoltaic effect. What is meant by photovoltaic cell or solar cell means it's a small device or a big device. It's a device which converts solar energy from the sun into electric current using photovoltaic effect. Okay, it's a photovoltaic effect. It is also called as a PV cell or solar cell, and this was first introduced by Charles in the 1880s. Okay, and later it is developed by in the 1931 by German engineer Bruno, and he developed a silver solenoid in the place of copper oxide. Means he enhanced the working device. Okay, and uh, electricity can be produced from this solar energy. I told we can generate the electricity by using this solar uh, cell or photovoltaic cell, which converts directly from solar radiation or solar rays into the electricity. The most significant application of this photovoltaic cell in India, uh, that is, we commonly used this concept is for irrigation purpose. You commonly seen in the rural areas because of the lot of the electricity problem. Okay, you just observe that in the rural areas there is a lot of electricity problems. To overcome that electricity problem, we go with this a photovoltaic cell, and this photovoltaic cell successfully installed nearby the land, okay, or nearby the river or pond, so that there is a continuous supply of the electricity. To drive the pump, we need electricity. Okay, if there is no electricity, there is no driving the pump, so that it won't supply any water for the lands. So to overcome this problem, we successful means uh, they installed this photovoltaic cell, and there is a continuous supply of the electricity, and also there is a continuous supply of the water for the land. Okay, and the next application is for drinking water supply and rural electric purpose. In the there is in the rural areas, the electricity hardly 5 to 6 hours or 5 to 8 hours. There is a supply of electricity. Okay, but the in the rural areas, most of the houses or most of the streets or most of the offices are they installed this for photovoltaic cells or solar cells, so that they won't depend on the electricity. They generate their own electricity for their purpose. And also they use for TV sets, medical refrigerators, and the small power loads. We can usually use this. This electricity is directly generated by utilizing solar energy by the photovoltaic process. Then what is meant by photovoltaic process? Here you just observe this is a solar cell. This is a solar cell. The first it is covered by a glass. It is called glass cover. Okay. Then beneath this glass there is a front contact grid. Okay. And next there is a anti-reflecting coatings. It avoids the reflection of the solar rays. Next, there is a negative or N-type silicon. These two are the semiconductors. Okay, N-type semiconductor, silicon is a one semiconductor. Okay, N-type silicon, and next there is a P-type, that is positive silicon, and last is back contact. It's just a support. Okay, so here there is a PN junction. When photons from the sun are absorbed in the semiconductor, they create a free electron with higher energies than the electrons which provides the bonding in the base crystal. Once these free electrons are created, there must be an electric field to induce these higher energy electrons to flow out of semiconductor to do useful work. The electric field is most solar cell is provided by a junction of material which have different electrical properties. The photovoltaic effect can be described easily by this p-n junction in the semiconductor materials. Okay, and these semiconductor may be a silicon. Here you taken the silicon, cadmium, okay, sulfide, copper. You can use any type of semiconductors for create this p-n junction. And this PV cell will generates this electricity with the help of this P type and N type electrons. Next, here also you can see this is solar radiance, okay, onto the PV cells, okay, directly it energize the P cells, P and N junction, and create the PN junction, and it will produce the positive and negative electrons that directly into the electricity, okay, and this electricity may stored in the batteries, and again utilized for the wherever it requires. Okay, and this electric energy is converted into either chemical energy, that is in the battery, then chemical energy into the electric energy. Okay, and these are the solar panels. uh, you can observe commonly on the house or on the offices. Okay, or you can observe these small panels on your calculators. Also you can observe it's a small panel which run with the help of this small photovoltaic effect. So advantages, disadvantages, and applications. Come to the advantages. These having a same advantages like a non-conventional source of energy. They are compared to the fossil fuels. These having a very clean and eco-friendly. One thing, they produces a very less pollution, and it gives a long duration period. They are not exhaustible, they are regenerating. The operating cost, not initial cost, I told operating cost is less when compared to the conventional source of energies. Of course there is an initial cost is more, but operating cost is very less because they are freely available on the earth crust, okay, from the sun. uh, so drawback is we know that the sun is not continuously available. The availability is a one drawback of this source of energies. Is it correct? Only on the daytime the solar energy is available, and in the night time we cannot able to get the solar energies. That is a one drawback. And second thing is the effectiveness, the effectiveness or efficiency is less when compared to the non-conventional source of energies. And the third thing is the transportation is also bit costlier, and initial cost is high when compared to the conventional source of energies. And next come to the applications. Here the first application you can see, this is a what calculator you are commonly using. So this calculator here, this is what the small photovoltaic SL is placed on the top right side of the calculator. Okay, so this calculator is completely converts means that the photovoltaic small cell will convert solar energy or the light energy into the electric energy. Because of that electric energy, and the battery which is inside the calculator is uh, mm, battery, okay, and then that battery will supply the whatever the required energy for the calculator. And second thing is, I told for the irrigation purpose they are using these are the solar panels. Okay, with the help of these solar panels we can continuously uh, run the pump, and continuously we can give supply for water to the plants. And the next important application is it is used in the satellite. Okay, a small in the satellite we know that there is no availability of the electric energy, there is no availability of the any masses or combustion anything. There is a small space are available, but within that we have to uh, supply the energy continuously. So for that, a best solution is these solar panels. We can successfully install solar panels on the satellite. Okay, and these satellites need electric energy, and that electric energy is successfully supplied by this photovoltaic cells, because on the space there is a continuous supply of the solar rays, and that solar rays continuously fall on the these panels, and these panels will convert that light rays into the electric energy required for the satellite. Okay, so that the satellites will continuously operate for 1 year, 2 year, 4 year, 10 years, 20 years. Okay, permanently placed satellites are continuously operating with the help of this working principle. Next, of course, these panels are having a lot of applications we can use for the biomedical treatment, we can use for the sensors we can use. Okay, and for the internet things we can use. Okay, for the indoor photovoltaic applications, for the sports applications. Okay, for any a small purpose we can use this type of solar cells or PV cells. Hello. Yes, you can observe this video how this PV cell or solar cell converts energy. A thin type of semiconductor layer, there is a N type, and here P type, so that it will create the PN junction. So positive and negative, P and N, positive and negative junction. This is how rays fall on the junction. Because of this, it will generate the energy or current. Valence bond and conduction bond. This is how we'll gain the energy and it will start moving from one place to another place continuously. There is a potential differences. That is what energy differences. And it generates the electricity. Okay.